cardboard ones. It's like, yeah, I've got metal keys for days, but man, they're so hard to travel with. They're just the paper ones, just that makes it so easy, and they're so small. Just I love using them. But I'm hoping they figure out something.
For 2020, they make the small ones.
I'm hoping they're like, yeah, we just need to make these. Like, they should have done something a little more special. And maybe that's it. Maybe it'll say 2019, and then everyone will just know, like, oh, they want a Prime or a Grand. And they just know because it's 2019.
Yeah.
Because I'm assuming everything now will now say 2020 from going here forward. But I wonder what's going to happen with all that stuff. Because... Brad, Alex, if you're listening, I could give it a good home. Just saying. I can give a lot of that stuff a good home. Keep me in your thoughts. But,
nice.
But let's move on to the biggest piece of information I think we honestly got from that thing, which was Worlds. We got a place, we got a date, and a little bit more information. So Worlds is going to be taking place May 7th to the 9th, which is strange because it's a Thursday to a Saturday. Now,
and it's Mother's Day, right?
I was just going to ask you, Grant, why would we do a Thursday through Saturday release instead of a Friday through Sunday?
Sunday is Mother's Day.
Sunday is Mother's Day. I'm sorry. This is... we don't do a ton of bashing of the guys. We love the guys here on the show. Alex has been on. We were pretty friendly with Mr. Massey, except when he had that awful... biker mustache thing for like one Crucible cast, and I'm glad to see that it's now gone because I was frightened of it. But man, that is Mother's Day. I mean, I gotta say, a prime demographic of this game is fathers.
Yeah, now they get to be with their wives or with their mothers. Well, and that's nice. But you have to take off of work on now a Thursday, maybe even a Wednesday too, to travel.
I'm not even talking about that. The begging and pleading I had to do to have my wife understand that Worlds was the Mother's Day weekend. That was rough. If you wanted to make sure that people weren't going to come, putting it on Mother's Day is a good choice.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah,
because a lot of us are Z's married. I mean, he's bringing his wife and kids. So happy Mother's Day, Mama Z. But nice. A lot of us are married. Look at Dan from Sanctimonious. He's married and has a kid. It's his wife's. I'm assuming it's his wife. I guess I really don't know, but that's their first Mother's Day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Jupiter.
So you're saying this is a thing that would cause you to not go because it's on Mother's Day.
I had to beg and plead with my wife.
And that's really unfortunate. We don't want to see, the community and a lot of the top players not be able to go. And especially for this one where Worlds, you get to invite a bunch of friends.
Right.
You get to form a team to make it like another reason why not to go. For someone who's maybe not so competitive, it's like, oh, I don't want to miss Mother's Day.
Right. I can't miss Mother's Day? It seemed like a really odd choice to me. Because like I said, Mother's Day, man, I had to beg and plead, and I had to pull out every good deed I've done in the past. Me and my wife have been married 12 years. We're going on 13 upcoming this May. I had to pull out every good deed I've ever done for that lady to be like, hey, I'm going to miss Mother's Day, just to let you know.
You can still get back for it, though.
Yeah.
Fly out late Saturday night, early Sunday morning.
There's no way I'm going to fly to Minnesota. I'm right in Wisconsin.
Yeah, you're close,
I'm right next door.
Yeah, I'm not.
It'd be like driving to your neighbor's house. Why would you do that?
Yeah. Oh, and you got it easy, man.
Yeah, I mean, I got it easy, but Sunday's probably going to be our travel day.
Yeah.
So, there's tons of people in the community, like I said, that are dads, that, their kids, it's Mother's Day. And I know a lot of people, my neighbor goes, she's not my mother. And I'm like, yeah, that'll get you far. And he's been divorced. Let me tell you, he's been divorced 3 times now. So that is not a good approach to take. But St. Paul, Minnesota, downtown Minnesota, I think is what they said. May 7th through the 9th will be Worlds. And there will be, they didn't say what, but there will be exclusive prizes. And the biggest thing we do know, because we have had Alex on the show a couple times now, is we will be opening a vault, whatever that means. So I'll let you guys' imaginations run wild. So this weekend, we're going to kind of move on to the Wookiees is a Moron section of the podcast. It's becoming a...
Okay.
It's becoming...
Is that a recurring theme?
It's becoming a recurring theme. This will be week 2 of the Wookiee is an Idiot section. I had a Prime and a Store Championship this weekend. Now, I shared the decks with you guys afterward.
Yes.
Not for the Store Championship. The Store Championship, I took second. I'm not going to get into like a big howdy-do of why I took second. Number one, I didn't have the second place mat yet. So I have a first one, I have a second one. Now I need a top 4, and I have a set. Whatever that does for me. But I thought that was kind of cool.
That was cool.
I pulled a decent deck. It was okay. One thing that I'm kind of, I don't know, maybe my deck, it was sealed, 2 decks sealed survival. We bought 3, so you got 1 Call the Archons, you got 1 AOA, and you got 1 Worlds Collide. And of those 3, you had to pick 2, and then obviously once one was eliminated, you moved to the next one, and you kept playing until there was only one person not eliminated. What is your thoughts? And I know I've heard you and Eric speaking on it now.
Yeah. Well, 1 deck of each set, right?
1 deck of each set.
Of course, you're picking Coda and Worlds Collide.
That's exactly what I picked.
Best sets by far. Who would pick AOA? That's crazy.
Well, hold the beer.
Who would pick AOA?
We'll get to my Prime disaster here in a minute. We're just talking about the Store Championship.
Yeah, I think that's a really cool format, though.
It was a lot of fun, I have to say. But man,
sounds really fun.
The more I'm sitting here, the more I'm getting worried. Man, can Worlds Collide hold up to Coda? Like, I got pretty thrashed by. I took my Worlds Collide, and Coda served me pretty harshly in the later stages of the game. What are your thoughts on that one?
On the power levels between Coda and Worlds Collide?
Correct.
I'm quite confident in Worlds Collide that it'll end up being stronger than Coda. I think on average the card value is a lot higher as long as you put Brobnar to the side. Think more about Star Alliance, Logo, Saurian. They're just incredible cards everywhere. And I think a little later we'll talk about Amber Control, but a super cool thing that Worlds Collide introduced is Amber Control on demand. So something like Red or Gallon, where you can exalt the creature to make keys cost +3 at any point that you want.
Yeah,
those
Chief
sort of
Garcia.
things Call the Archons didn't have.
This is true. It took a little bit of luck to make sure, and a lot of people say it's skill. It is skill. I'm not degrading your skill, but it did take a little bit of luck. There have been many times where I looked at my opponent and went, "Did you get it? Did you get the TMPT? If you did, I'm screwed. Like, if you did, it's GG, and we'll just move on. If you didn't, boy, are you in a world of hurt, because I'm going to run away with this." So it does seem to be it's going to be a little more skill based now. I mean, like you said, what's it? Reddick? I forget his first. What's his first?
Redder.
Yeah, he's amazing. Play or reap. Keys cost +3.
Yeah.
I had somebody recently do that to me with a Golden Spiral. They played him, and then they exalted him to reap with him, then exalted him to reap with him again, because I had 2 Golden Spirals. So my keys were costing +9, which is a pain. It's not fun.
Yeah, that stuff's just crazy. Like, the complexity that can be introduced in Worlds Collide through, like, Golden Spiral to Ready and Exalt, say a Kirby to play a non-Star Alliance card. That stuff's incredible.
You're in the...
Thanks for listening.
All right, for some reason we got disconnected. We're back. Go ahead, Grant. I'm sorry. We got disconnected from audition, so my bad, but keep going.
No worries. Where were we at when we got disconnected?
You were talking about like all the stuff, like Golden Spiral and Redder and all that jazz, kind of.
Oh yeah, just talking about how how a lot of the complexities are more novel, more flexible, more powerful, being able to golden spiral into other houses, which, say, you could do into a Kirby, which allows you to reap and use a non-Star Alliance action card. There's a lot more interesting effects. And I think it will end up being more powerful because you can use those. Really, like the skill ceiling will probably be higher because of all of these things, which I think will eventually make it clear that Worlds Collide is better than Coda.
It does make you have to make some really interesting decisions, especially when you have things that are able to ward creatures, so to put some protection on them. Where before you didn't have, I mean, we had what? We had Taunt, which still didn't protect a lot of things. And Shadow Self, right?
Yeah, like the big question is, where are you going to put your Shadow Self?
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to leave it open for a future creature, or are you going to close it off, saying, what do you have on the board?
But now you have Ward,
to protect.
which you can say, if you're going to deal it damage, you got to do it twice to get him off the board. Which, I don't know, like, I just... Case in point, I just, like I said, my Worlds Collide has been getting its butt torched, and maybe I just haven't opened a good Worlds Collide. I do have a decent Worlds Collide, maybe it's just not good enough, but Coda's been torching it lately.
Yeah, well, we'll have to wait to see it this weekend. We have the Archon Vault Tour, see how much Coda and Worlds Collide comes up.
What is your prediction on all this? What do you think it's going to be? Is it going to be Coda strong? Or do you think it's because, like I told you guys what happened? My last Prime, I planned for Worlds Collide, and I planned heavy Worlds Collide. Boy, was I wrong. So, are you planning a lot of Worlds Collide, or are you thinking there's going to be a lot of Coda still floating around?
I think there's going to be a lot of Worlds Collide. So I've seen online on the Crucible and looking at a lot of the data on the Crucible tracker, the Worlds Collide, there's amazing Worlds Collide decks out there, and a lot of them are being frequently played. I think maybe at a local level, it'll take longer for your Worlds Collide scene to really develop, but there are some crazy Worlds Collide decks, like the one that Nathan won with at Gen Con, just huge creature rush, Quixelstone decks,
right?
All these things. 100%, I think Worlds Collide is going to win, and it'll be something novel like Quixelstone.
It'll be something like you maybe didn't expect.
Yeah, something you didn't expect. Like, you'll see, it'll be exciting, which is really what I'm hoping for.
All right, I'm introducing a new segment this week. We're going to call it Get in the Corner. Play the music.
You're in the corner. Here we go.
All right, guys. As I said earlier on in this, I'm introducing a new segment. I didn't okay it with Z, but Z's not here, so what he doesn't know happens on the corner. He doesn't need to know while he's away. So what happens in the corner stays in the corner sometimes. But
all right,
we're going to get into a little bit of the Wookiees Prime discussion. So the biggest thing I've learned over this weekend, and this is Wookiees, I don't know if it's maybe call it my dumbass moment of the week, because I make a lot of these. I don't really know what's going to qualify as a get in the corner moment. But I had a Prime this weekend, and again, it was a sealed, right? So, again, the same format. You got a Coda, you got an AOA, and you got a Worlds Collide deck.
Yeah.
I opened all three. I started with my Worlds Collide because I had my fingers crossed, right? Hopefully really good Worlds Collide. Nada. Unfortunately, nothing. It was Brobnar Untamed Shadows. And
some of the bottom of the barrel houses right
bottom there. Of the barrel. And I'm going to go find this deck. And here it is. Is this it? I think this is it right here. Yeah, it's got to be it. This one right here. So it's not bad SAS. 65 SAS. No, this isn't the deck. I'm sorry. This is the wrong deck. This is the Worlds Collide I pulled for my store. Here it is. Full you ready for this? It's Full Lemming, the Cook of Equity. But Fleming is spelled with 3 L's. Full Emming. Full Lemming? I have no idea. Anyways, its SAS is 58.
That's pretty bad.
Sure. Base arc of 55 with 4 synergies and an anti-synergy. So there is nothing here to write home about. It has 2 imprinted Mermooks.